All right, if you're playing Summoner and you're starting to think about in-game builds, this video is for you. What I'm about to show you is my ultimate in-game Summoner setup, a build I use for both PvE and PvP. This is mainly a single target focused setup, because that's where Summoner really shines in in-game fights. I only switch to a full AoE build in very specific situations, like large mob farming or massive PvP fights. And if you want that version, I already have an AoE build up on the channel. That said, let's go through the core skills, why they matter, and how everything comes together at the endgame. These are the skills I use for my in-game setup, and there are a few absolute must-haves here. First, Phase Out. This skill is basically your get-out-of-jail-free card. It gives you 4 seconds of immunity, and you can use it in multiple ways. You can reset mobs, bait enemies into blowing their cooldowns, or just save yourself when things get out of control. No matter what content you're doing, Phase Out is non-negotiable. Next is Shear. This skill is incredibly strong. It drains enemy mana and removes buffs, which can completely shut down casters or supports in PvP. In longer fights, especially against coordinated groups, Shear can decide the outcome on its own. Suppression Ray is another core skill. It's a 4-second channeled silence, and when you line this up with your pet's burst window, you can completely lock an enemy out of the fight. This is especially brutal against healers or casters who rely on timing. Then we have Void. Void is extremely strong when used correctly. On its own it's good, but when you combo it with a root, it becomes deadly. If you have a ranger or another class that can group root enemies, dropping Void on top of that is devastating in both PvE and PvP. Amplify is also a key part of this build. I personally run the lifesteal upgrade, and yes, I use it in PvP as well. It's especially good when enemies focus on your pet, because that extra sustain can keep the pet alive longer and stop your whole setup from collapsing. If your pet dies at a bad time, you lose a lot of pressure, so lifesteal is a really safe and reliable choice. If you want a more aggressive playstyle, you can swap to recharging for more frequent burst windows, but for my build and the way fights actually play out, lifesteal has been more consistent. Also, you want to keep the bond upgraded and active all times to get 25% less damage both for you and for your pet. However, don't stay close to your pet, otherwise both of you will receive more damage. Transpose is a skill I really like in theory, but I have to be honest here. It's currently very inconsistent. It only works when you and your pet are on perfectly even ground. If either of you is slightly higher or lower, it just doesn't work. This definitely needs a fix, so keep that in mind if you're experimenting with it. Soul Flare is your only stun, so it's an easy pick. You can combo Soul Flare with Dimensional Bolt to teleport your pet and immediately stun the enemy. That combo is incredibly strong for catching people off guard. As for pets, I personally always run the healer pet. I really like being able to heal myself and my allies during fights. The tank pet is great against melee heavy comps because of the constant roots, and I use it situationally. I rarely use the DPS pet at endgame, but it can still be useful depending on the fight. For stats, I focus on magic power and max health. Anything that increases your magic power or max health is good for Summoner. Your pet's health also scales with your max health, which makes this even more valuable. I aim to feel tanky while still doing meaningful damage. For armor, I recommend running a 5-piece heavy armor set to get the physical defense bonus. Physical damage is extremely common right now, so heavy armor is simply the meta. You can fill the remaining slots with medium or light armor if the stats are good, but I don't recommend going full light at the moment. Honestly, the way this build feels is somewhere between a mage and a paladin. Tanky, durable, and hard to kill, while still applying constant pressure. For weapon skills, I always push toward the top of the skill tree, focusing on finisher trigger chance. That consistency really adds up over long fights. For gear sets, I'm currently running the blue Graveplate 5-piece set, and it's been excellent so far. For the remaining slots, anything that gives max health or magic power works well, including jewelry. For food, I recommend max health food if you want to feel extra tanky. If you're already comfortable with your survivability, you can go magic power instead. Personally, I like sitting around 7,000 to 8,000 health with all buffs active. You can also stack a constitution scroll on top of your food for even more durability. And that's my endgame Summoner build. This setup has been working extremely well for me in both PvE and PvP, and it really plays into Summoner's strengths: control, sustain, and pressure over time. If you're testing endgame content, let me know how this feels for you and what you'd tweak based on your playstyle. I've got more summoner content coming, including PvP-focused variations and deeper mechanical breakdowns. If this helped you out, drop a like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Good luck out there, and I'll see you in Vera.